What up? You are tuned in to AFTERBUZZ TV for Ballers Season 2. Face of the franchise. It's about to get real. Let's go, DJ. Kick it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What's up? Bamm Ericsen with AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm back. We got a new panel. Introduce yourself, ladies.
I am Jill Munroe. You can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, @StilettoJill. And to my left...
Hello, I am Suzette Babb, and you can do the same. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snap, Suzette Babb.
And you can follow me on our social media @Bamm Ericsen. So, Season 2, Episode 1, Face of the Franchise. Just what are your initial thoughts of the premiere episode?
My initial thoughts are, I'm so excited it's back. And I'm so excited that it seems to be upsetting the NFL a little bit. So that means that there's probably going to be lots of true themes throughout the entire season. So I'm excited to see what's next for Spencer and the gang and where they go as far as the business.
And I'm super excited that Andre character, I'm excited to see Spencer actually have a nemesis, and let's see what happens with those two.
And so let's go right into Andre. Andre is played by Oscar winner Andy Garcia.
Yes.
Love
who
him.
has a
Love him.
massive resume. Look him up if you don't know who he is. Godfather, so many things. Great guy to work with. So why do you think he's back? So let me, before you answer that, so Andre apparently used to be Spencer's financial manager, and something happened to where he lost all of his money. He wound up having to play another year to make money, and then boom, he was injured. He had to retire. So I'm assuming that that is the reason that there is animosity toward him, because he screwed him over. Okay, so now that I said that, what do you guys think is, why do you think he's back?
I think Andre's back because if you look at it last season, even though it was rocky with Spencer and his new venture as a money manager, he managed to make an impact. He managed to smooth some rough things out. I mean, whatever happened with Ricky's career, getting Ricky onto the Dolphins was a big move. They got Victor Cruz, so they made some major moves, and I think maybe it's one of those things where it's like, aha, you think that you're doing something? We still have something to settle.
Well, and I think Andre's just threatened. Miami is his territory. So how can you, Spencer, you're just football player. Now you're here and you're gonna think you're gonna, fix these guys' finances. It's kind of crazy. So I think he's like, no, this is my territory. You were a football player, and this isn't. You're not gonna get these guys. This is my field, if you will. And
I think it's great because with Season 1, he was a C-list.
Right.
Like in Hollywood, how there's levels. He was kind of a C-list. And so by him getting Ricky and some of the other business moves that he did, now he's a threat. Which is why he was not there for Season 1, this Andre character. So now that he's there, you can start to see where he's starting to plant little seeds to take Spencer off of his game. So now let's go to T-Sizzle. So T-Sizzle shows up, and there is obviously animosity. What is you guys' take on what do you guys' take on this character first?
Well, the thing is that, it's really close to real life, because we all know, if you've ever seen Terrell when he hits First Take, his sort of animosity between like he and Skip Bayless, he's very aggressive in his take. So it wasn't surprising to see he and Spencer kind of go at it, but it was sort of shocking because Spencer always seems to be in control, especially in a circumstance where he's uncomfortable. For him to lose it like that, whatever happened between them must have been pretty deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised that Jay would strategically even bring T-Sizzle on when he knows that there's beef. And yeah, I was surprised Spencer went on him. I thought Joe, if anything, Joe in the beginning kind of looked like he was going to take the lead of the, the mic of the show. So I was really surprised that Spencer just beat up on him. So there has to be more to the story than just the 1 year of playing because of some bad house deal. There has to be more.
Well, I think it was the dirty player rep, because I think that kind of must have, Spencer was at the end of his career when that happened. So I think that he developed a rep. I think that there was something that came with that kind of affected him, because you have to remember in Season 1 we found out that there was the guy that owned the car repair place that he ended his career. So if whatever happened with that, and then now we hear about this where it's someone else, I think that Spencer takes it personally that he might have been taking guys out, or at least the idea of it.
So when they go to the Glazed and Confused sports talk show, just a couple questions. Do you guys think that, who do you think is to blame? Do you think Joe is to blame for the outburst? Do you think that Anderson is to blame, or do you think Spencer is to blame for his own doing?
I think Spencer. I do.
Okay.
I don't think he needed to go in on him like that.
I mean, I feel that with Spencer, he could have handled it a little bit better. Throw your shots. Obviously, when you're on a show like that, controversy is part of the deal with something like that, and you're going to get your back and forth. But for Spencer to completely lose it like that and get up and let it get physical, there has to be something deeper there. I mean, you see his doctor told him to go see a psychiatrist. So
I am going to blame Spencer and Anderson for this, because if I know that if we're at a function or something, and say if you and I were dating, and you have beef with my ex. No, that's a terrible example. But the point is, if I know specifically that someone can physically cause you to lose it, I feel like I should take some responsibility for it. And the fact that Spencer saw this coming, like, you don't have to be politically correct when someone bamboozles you into an interview. You can actually get up and walk away. You can leave.
You can, but don't you think that might have caused some other type?
Who
because the whole
cares?
thing, it's marketing though, but it's marketing for their company, and they're trying to get more clients. And we know a big part of that is
Drama.
your accessibility, just seeing you in the right places and in the right attention things.
So who cares? I feel like if I know this big musclehead who has problems, who doesn't take his medicine, like if I know this musclehead can literally flip out, I'm going to say, you know what? Well, we wasn't expecting this to happen, so we're going to get up and we're going to leave because we're not sure how this situation is going to go. And being that you didn't inform us, I feel like you're trying to start something. So therefore, we're just going to get up or we're going to leave. But thank you for having us. And then you get up and leave. So I feel like Spence needs to take some responsibility for this, because he knew this was coming.
Joe could have done that too, though, because let's not forget Spencer
that's what I mean, Joe.
Spencer gets Joe last season out of all the problems, like the photos and
everything.
I feel like half the time it's Joe who's actually like worse than the players. Like,
I know, but I think that is very true to life though, where sometimes these financial advisors or these guys that are in business, they're getting exposed to a lifestyle almost as if they're an athlete. They're athlete adjacent, I guess, celebrity adjacent. Yeah. So they get some of the perks of those type of things. So of course they're gonna push it a little further. And then too, I think that they want to entertain their athletes, because I think that athletes want to be around people that they enjoy, they entertain. It's not always just about the business thing. So if you can keep them engaged in some type of manner, sometimes that's with outrageous behavior. I think that's what kind of pushes Joe too, besides his own little needs. And
so Jason intervenes and gives a great example of how, is T-Sizzle really the root of your anger problem?
Right.
And so he goes into this whole thing where we discussed earlier about Andre and how Andre's really the problem. But in the meantime, you should still make peace with T-Sizzle, which they did at Ricky's birthday party. I was expecting a little more something than just...
Oh, cool, we're squashing it, yeah.
But we know why.
Yeah.
Because he wants to take his money and then start taking all of Andre's clients, so... He's going to try to be the bigger person and get the dollar.
But did you think T-Sizzle was going to shake hands so easy?
You know why I think so? Because one, like T-Sizzle said, he's still in the game. He's still, actively playing. Yeah. He still has a chance to, usurp Spencer or make him look bad, or not make him look bad, but continue his legacy on the field. And that's something that Spencer can't do anymore. So I think for him, it's like, whatever happened, I don't know who actually won that little tussle there, but, you know, Terrell obviously didn't feel like he took too much of a loss, so he's like, whatever, it happens. You know, they have fights in practice all the time, and then they move on from it, so I think of it like that.
Well, I'm curious to see how Andre deals with his clients, because I think T-Sizzle's like, oh my gosh, like, Spencer throws these parties, there's women, there's, you know, booze, look at Vernon's paycheck and what's going to happen with Ricky. Who knows, he might be thinking, maybe I'd rather be represented by Spencer, so maybe Andre's feeling, you know, threatened, because like I said, we don't know what does he throw parties, what does he do, like what's his shtick, if you will, you know.
To keep them entertained.
So now let's move on to Ricky. Why is his daddy there?
He's around now.
His dad is around. I think that as an ex-athlete, some years removed from the game, I think that that is something that you see with a lot of former athletes. The desire to go back into the limelight. They miss it. They miss being around the game or whatever. He says he has his financial situation straight, but I think that it's the fact that his son is up, down, or whatever, going through it. He misses being connected to the game and just all the stuff. You saw he was at the party. He was turned up too. Like, you know, you're kind of old now. You're heading towards granddad territory. You should be a little more chill there. But that's what I think. I'm sure we'll find out some type of twist later in the season, but I think a lot of it is just missing the life.
I think though Ricky too doesn't have Annabelle anymore. I think he needs to have someone near him at all times, and so after she stepped away, now here's my father. So I think he kind of needs that, I don't know if it's a security blanket, but I think that he needs that person that wants to be there. I think he doesn't want to be alone, if you will. So maybe now that dad's here, it's like, okay, maybe I don't really want you here, but you're somebody, you know, you believe in me. You know, I don't know, maybe he really wants to rebuild that relationship. I don't know.
To a degree. I think that he wants to rebuild parts of it, but I also think that we don't know yet if Ricky is better than him. I think that is something that will develop, so it could be some jealousy there too. Ricky might have achieved some things
more than he did.
Yeah.
There were some positive and negative things that I saw with his dad, who, when Ricky is waiting for his deal before season starts, and so his dad told him that he should get $30 million over 30 years. If not, he's being completely punked. And so then Jason gets the word that he's going to get $12 million for 2 years, which he knows Ricky does not want. And so I see the dad having his intentions for his son, knowing his son's worth and knowing the game and the business aspect. But then there's the whole thing when he did not get the deal, and then Alonzo gets his deal, and then he tells him not to grow up because it's his 30th birthday party and stop trying to be a grown-up and have fun. So I'm conflicted because on one side he has good intentions, but on the flip of it, he tells his son, don't grow up.
I think that, once again, I think his dad is confused. He's probably looking... We'll probably learn more about his career and whatever ended his career and why he wasn't really in Ricky's life. We heard a little bit about that in that interview that Ricky did in season 1, but I'm sure that we'll get more into, you know, whatever his relationship was with Ricky's mom and things of that nature. We're going to see how that all goes down. So I wouldn't trust him. I know that he's going to be there with some type of mischief.
Right. And I think maybe he doesn't even know what his place is. Like, is he the dad? Is he the friend?
No, I think he knows. I think he has an idea. I don't believe that he's walking into this just kind of like, hey, I'm going to see what happens. He has something that he's angling for, definitely.
And then also remember, the time span has this. Presumably, we've done 9 months because Charles and Julie had the baby. So presumably something could have happened. They made up.
That's true. Yeah.
So we don't know, but a lot of time has gone by for him to at least trust him, because I'm going to assume the dad is living there as well, because he seems to be at the house all the time.
Kind of looks like it. Yeah.
So I am going to presume. Now, when Alonzo actually showed up to the party,
I thought that was bold. Just like, oh, you're being messy, but okay.
But they're also teammates.
They're teammates,
and it's natural for the teammates to show up. But it was a little messy.
Because my thing is, you're teammates.
No, I take that back. It's not messy.
It's not messy.
No, I take it back. It's not messy because
business.
It is business, because the deal was offered to Ricky first.
Right.
He decided not to take the deal. So in the entertainment business, if I get offered a hosting job and I say no, I don't want the $5 million. I need $7 million. If I say that I don't want it and then you take the job and you show up to the party, that's not your fault. I chose not to take the deal. So Alonso had every right to show up to his teammates' party.
He had every right to show up. I'm not saying he didn't have any right to, but at the same time, he's not living in a bubble. He does know that Ricky turned down that deal, and he does also know that another deal has probably not been extended to Ricky, because if it had been, it probably would have been announced. So you know that there's going to be some type of tension.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess you not showing up could be just as equally a problem. But just the way he came in, it was kind of like, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Happy signing day. What's up, Ricky? Happy 30th. So we know Ricky has problems with teammates.
And so you think...
Well, he was with his mother, too. So I don't know, maybe, is he over that? Or he's like...
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's just so much history between them that... it's like poking the bear. It's not completely innocent. Yes, as a teammate, you should still show up to your teammate's birthday party.
Right.
All of these things, but at the same time, given the history of, he used to have sex with your mom, and, they had those little run-ins in the locker room, and the thing with the number, there's a lot going on.
True.
So I feel that there's a build, and that they will be rivals for at least this season.
And at first I thought there could have been more, but I think his presence, just showing up at the party and knowing that Ricky saw him at the party, was enough.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely, the way he came in, and it was just like, it's a lot going on, caused Ricky to go get the kit.
Yeah. And so before we move on, I just want to remind you guys, Ballers Season 2, we're back, and make sure that you guys check us out on iTunes and YouTube. Always subscribe to both YouTube and iTunes, and make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and please tell friends so that they can all watch us. And then again, anytime that you are watching, you guys leave comments. Make sure that you hashtag AfterBuzz TV, and you could give your comments and let us know what you think on all social media forms.
Yeah. And 5 stars. We like 5 stars.
Absolutely. Charles and Julie has a baby.
Yes.
Kiki.
Right. And there is this Miami Legends event where all the old players are signing autographs and so forth. And the big picture in this storyline is Charles does not know that he is not coming back this season to play. Season 1, he went through the training camp and so forth. So in his mind, he's thinking...
Yep, on the team.
He's on the team, or that he's getting ready to be offered the deal.
Waiting for his deal.
He's waiting for his deal, and those cowards haven't had the common courtesy just to say, dude, you're cut.
Especially considering that they know he has a new baby. I mean, and for me, the way that he was brought back in, that he was unsure, he was feeling insecure, and he didn't think that he made it. So for him to get that chance only to be let down again, now we all know that that's a very real thing that happens with athletes, but you just feel bad, like, is he going to go back to the dealership for like the 3rd time now and be a sales guy?
He was excited to go to the dealership, and then Larry kept stopping by the dealership, so it gave this impression that Larry was checking on him, maybe you're not done playing, and then to offer him to come on the team, like, it does seem very confusing.
But I will say that in this in any form of entertainment business, they don't need to tell you anything.
Yeah.
They don't, but there's professional courtesy. He won a ring with them. I think that, of course, they don't need to, and we all know it's the business, but when you reach certain milestones and there's certain things that you have done for different teams, that I think that there is a professional courtesy that happens. And to a degree, we saw that. That's why the coach was like, well, I kind of don't want you to be blindsided. But, and they knew that, because there is something that you can extend to people for an extended period of time if you've worked with them, especially under certain circumstances. If he was part of the team that brought a title to Miami, and that's what they've said, then you got to give him a break, kind of, especially when you pursued him that hard. That's just what I think. Do they have to by law? No, they can do whatever they want to, but good karma says that they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can totally tell that they're going to screw him, and so then my question to you ladies is, how do you think this will affect him? Do you think that he'll go back to the lazy ass who sits on the couch and plays video games, or do you think he'll just be content with working at the dealership?
I keep thinking he's going to become a coach, or he's going to not be a player, but I think he's going to be part of the team in some way, like whether it's assisting or, because you even saw last season when Ricky was working out and Ricky didn't understand the plays, and for him it was like, this is so easy, you know, so
Just breaking down
I
film,
still think that he's going to somehow be a part of the team. I don't think he's going to play, and I didn't think last season he was going to. I thought the chemistry with him and Larry and the coaches, it seemed more that he'd be like an associate with them, that he's kind of on that level, so that's what I foresee happening.
I could see something like that, that he moves sort of into a player coach role. I'm not really sure how they break that down in the NFL. I know it's an easier transition for say, in the NBA to go, you know, from the end of the bench and be a locker room character guy to help out rookies and then roll over to the other side. So I could definitely see something like that happening for him. I would hope so, because I don't think that he'll be happy going back to the dealership. And it's a slippery slope. Even though he has a new baby, he very much could end up back at the smash pad. You know, with Ricky
The
and
fun
some
house,
foolishness.
yes.
The fun house, yeah.
The bad house, the naughty house.
I don't have an opinion either way. I'd just be curious to see which way, if it seems a little cliche if they have him, you know, backslide, or if they want to push him forward. So either way it go, I think I'll be happy with it. But if I don't, you know, I'll let you guys know.
I like Charles though. He's so soft. Like, he's a sweet guy.
Yeah, Charles is a good guy. I do like him, and I do like his relationship with Julie. And just really good. And then the final thing is, there wasn't much, but with Fat Reggie and for Vernon, the only telltale sign that I think we all recognize was the fact that Fat Reggie has been planted into his head.
There is no benefit plan or retirement plan in being a professional friend.
Oh, really? Why not? No.
You know, I think that Reggie has been speaking a lot of French. Our deal, what we're going to do. And now he learns how expendable he is, and that he has no backup plan. While Vernon got that $18 million check, he got an invite.
But you know what? That's his fault.
Angela last season.
I don't feel bad for him. That's your fault.
Yeah.
You caused all that trouble. You fought for your friend, and you did all this. And so now you fought for your friend. You got him the deal, but you didn't make a deal with your friend. Absolutely. And you were so adamant about making sure that he gets what he got, and then you don't
even have a dental plan.
That's not yours. Yeah, that's not your money.
I don't care. So what? Who cares?
But he can be a detriment because he's still around. That's my thing. You know, that's that double-edged sword. If Vernon is going to keep him around, you don't want someone disgruntled around that's that close to you, because
he's gonna make things worse.
He's a loose cannon.
And then he'll probably start trying to think of other ways that he can make his own money, and that could be great. He could turn into Turtle, like from Entourage, or it could be something else, more Reggie stuff like from last season.
And so then I wonder, will this pull their friendship apart? Or will Vernon just give in and just give it to him? But then that would be too easy.
I think that it's going to be a test of their friendship and to see what happens. You know, you always hear stories about people saying, "Oh, athletes, you know, you got on and you changed, or you left your friends behind." And so I think that we'll see how those type of things sometimes happen.
And we will see what else is to come in this season. So now let's go into some predictions before we wrap.
Ooh.
And now,
There's lights, there's music.
Oh, we do it while the music's on. Well, this is
It's your
great.
turn.
Let's see. Well, I hope that we go more into Vernon, because I still feel like last season we didn't really dive into who he is. I feel like I know Ricky, but seeing Vernon at the end of last season, like taking pictures and being more mellow, like I'm just kind of curious, like to know more about him. And then of course Andre, like I cannot wait to see Spencer. I'm sure he's going to take a lot of his clients, and I'm sure Andre's going to be super dirty himself. Like he's not going to go down without a fight. And then let's see what happens with Ricky too. I mean, I hope that he gets his big deal and kind of mans up and becomes a better person and player.
I am looking forward to obviously Andre's development. I want to see what happens on the business side. Are Spencer and Joe going to go through more bumps? How are they going to expand the business? Because there's seeming to go back to that point where they're on the edge again. And I also want to see what develops with Spencer and Tracy, where that relationship goes. Does it stick around the whole season, or does Spencer move in and out? I would like to see what happens with that.
I am going to say that maybe Ricky waits too long and he finds himself not playing this season.
Ooh, has to sit out a season.
And so he has to sit out a season. I could see that. I can see, or I could see him moving to another team, winning the ring, and shitting. Sorry, I couldn't think of another word. And shitting on Miami Dolphins.
That could be.
So in the off season.
So that, and then we saw clips for next week regarding Spence in the pills.
Yeah,
He's in
that's gonna be a big one.
he's in a lot of pain. So, you know, I think this is going to be an ongoing thing. And so will he be more out of control?
Right.
Will he go get help? And with Andre versus Spencer, the way they approach their tactics are two totally different. So he's going to have to adjust, just as he had to adjust to Fat Reggie's tactics. And Andre is on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how well Spencer can adjust to the daggers that Andre throws at him.
And we will be right here to check it all out.
Yeah. So let everyone know where you guys can be found on social media before we wrap.
You can find me again on Instagram, Snap, and Twitter, Suzette Babb.
And you can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all the good ones, at Stiletto Jill.
And you can find me on social media at Bamm Ericsen. Thank you guys for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV for Ballers Season 2. It's been a great first episode recap, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.